You all right, mate?
Hello, David. How you doing?
Yeah, I'm good, mate. How are you?
Good to see you, mate. After all this time, not seen you since the Marina Centre.
Oh, no. Yeah, it's been crazy, isn't it?
Time's just flying by. It's pretty scary. Right, good to see you, mate. Thank you so much for your time today, doing an interview with me here in regards to obviously your challenges, what you've overcome, how far you've come. Just to start with, obviously, we're not here to treat anybody or diagnose anybody. But like you said to me the other day on the phone, if you're able to help one person, then that's absolutely brilliant. So that's our only intention here, is just to share our story and just to help as many people as we can. So to start with then, I loved your video. That was so good to watch. I felt really lifted by it. Obviously, you got my attention straight away, which is why I contacted you. And I was like, right, got to do a video with you, because I can feel a lot of my own sort of past experiences and I could really relate to it. So yeah, just to start with, if you just want to introduce yourself then, Bud, and just tell me a little bit about yourself and what experiences you've gone through, that would be a good start.
Yeah, sure. Yeah, as you know, my name is David. I would say at the moment I'm quite an enthusiastic person that likes to just keep physically fit, and I'm quite focused. I see myself as like a very focused individual. With goals. Unlike the mental health side of things, yeah, I've had my struggles in the past. That in itself has been a bit of a challenge, but yeah, no, to see your own progress, that's quite rewarding.
Absolutely,
And yeah, I'd say that's pretty much it, to be fair. But
that's a good introduction. Yeah. So the main thing that identifies you is you've got a good focus and you're quite a driven person.
yeah.
I suppose having that attribute, I'm only guessing at this stage, that's helped you with your self-development, having that attribute.
Yeah, no, definitely. That's been one of the biggest driving factors.
Well, I just want to say, first of all, congratulations on what you've achieved so far. And obviously reaching out, obviously you've had help in the past, and obviously sharing your experience, like they're all such amazing things to be able to do. It takes a lot to do that. And not many people are willing to do that. But when people do speak about it, obviously we're helping other people. They're hearing other people have got their own experiences. You said in your video that even the most successful people can have their own difficulties, and you're absolutely right. But it's good to acknowledge that. It doesn't matter where you are in life. You know, we all struggle in our own sort of way, and this is you and your story. So well done. In regards to who you are as a person, like you said, you see is what you get. You know, what you see is what you get type of person. You are very genuine. And you absolutely are. When I met you in the gym, you come across so genuine, such a decent guy. And I just want to emphasize that point before we move on. And it looks like you're really starting to understand yourself, that because you mentioned you're not really feeling like you can fit in with others, but being such a genuine, nice guy already, mate, it's an honor to have people like you around, as it is, because there's not many like that. So that's already a really good head start. So let's start with this then. So you mentioned not feeling good enough at times. Can you just explain to me how you know, what sort of relationship you got with yourself then, how you don't feel you're really good enough?
I would put my relationship with myself a few years ago not in a great place at all. I would say, yeah, my relationship back then was not good. I didn't like the person I was. If I'm being honest, I didn't really understand who I was. There was a lot of question marks, I'd say, and that's probably one of the reasons why the relationship with myself I describe as not great. I was in a difficult place where I just didn't know how to even start this journey of, right, you need to start respecting yourself. You need to start loving yourself, caring for yourself. Just do like the everyday essentials to start to progress with a positive relationship. Yeah.
That's a good start. And the same applied with me. It's only been the last couple of years where I've really understood like who I am and focusing on the good things about myself rather than judging myself constantly. So
Yeah.
I'm right there with you. For some people, it does literally take, as many years as it's took. Like you said, it's took you 5 years of actually consistently getting through this and battling through this.
Yeah.
It's not an easy page, but what I love the most, David, and this is the reason we're doing this interview now, is you're willing to help yourself. You've proven that you've gone out of your way to help yourself, and you care, and you're looking for solutions rather than just accepting defeat and just thinking this is the way it is. Why is this happening to me? It's not fair, and all them sort of things. You're actually focusing on improving and self-development, which is what I've been doing. So people that are willing to help themselves, I'm willing to communicate with, because you're clearly a like-minded person. So hats off to you. So of course, at any point, if you felt, this is obviously quite a touchy subject, you seem very confident and newly developed, but at any point, if obviously you wanted to put a hold to the interview or whatever, just let me know, buddy. All right, I wanted to mention that. Okay, you spend a lot of time in your own company. So do I. I'm just intrigued to hear what sort of things that you like to do when you are on your own.
So I'd say one of the first things I like to do on my own is just to go and train, like exercise, because for me, I need to be in my own headspace when I am exercising, because I'd say, because I am quite goal driven, I just have to be on my own, focusing on the goal, achieving what I need to achieve. And for me, going to the gym, doing a bit of exercise, that's like having a bit of me time.
Yeah.
And exactly, mate. If I could have a home gym, oh god, yeah, I probably wouldn't leave the house. But
Are you mainly training at the gym?
Training at the gym environment.
Yeah, that's good, because you've got a good you're in a social environment as well.
Yeah.
2 birds, 1 stone. Sorry, carry on.
Yeah. Yeah, no, that's fine, mate. So that's the main reason why I do go to the gym, is to improve my mental health and just to keep myself at a good, consistent level. For me, if I can keep my mental health consistently in a good place, then it makes everything else easier. It just makes everyday life activities easier. But other stuff I like to do. So I just like to take myself away. Like if it's like days out, trips away, and just to get out there and socialize.
Nice.
And I feel like it's a big step doing those things on your own, but I just enjoy it. And I don't know, there's something about going somewhere where you meet new people, you interact with all different kinds of people, that it gives me a bit of a buzz. And I enjoy the aspect of just booking like a couple of days away and being like, right, let's go. And
spontaneousness of it.
Yeah, definitely, mate.
So I completely relate to that. So for years, say for example, when I used to work in a call center, I lived in a house share. I never really showed my face. Everyone kept saying, oh, let's go out. Are you out this weekend? And I'd always think of excuses. And that's because I didn't feel confident in myself. But the same as yourself here, the second I actually stepped outside and I actually started socializing with other people, that's when I got out of my comfort zone, if you like, and my anxieties were sort of starting to disappear completely. And I enjoyed the excitement of meeting new people, because I've secluded myself from it for so long. And obviously we can all relate to that through lockdown, that when you're back in that position again, where you're socializing with others and you're just being yourself, it is a good feeling. So I can relate to that completely. But yeah, so I'm loving that. As for the fitness, of course, it gives us direction. It gives us stimulation. So we're stimulated. If we're not doing nothing, of course, it's like keeping a monkey as a pet. Like, if there's no stimulation around it, it's just trapped in a cage all day, which we are all in our houses the majority of the time, especially lockdown again, we'll just go crazy. So you've got a direction, you're adapting, you've got goals. Being goal driven is so important. And that's so good that you've got them attributes, because that's a big part of the battle there. So hats off to you, my man. Okay, another question for you then. Oh no, first of all, let's talk about the self-care. So of course, you've clearly got a lot of self-care now, but you mentioned 5 years ago, I mean, even something like taking a shower was a big thing to yourself. So how would you compare how you were back then to how you are now, with that example to mind?
Yeah, so as I was talking about in my video, when I mentioned about going to the shower, was, yeah, it felt tough. It just felt like, uh, I struggled to describe how it felt, but it was just really tough just to be like, just go clean yourself up. And because of that neglect, I've had like a shift in my mindset. It's gone from not looking after myself. So like, yeah, like things like not showering, not worrying about my hair. Like, I know my hair's an absolute state today, but like it's because I'm going away Monday, going to London. So like I'm gonna get all fresh and, you
Nice.
know, like I'm
Cool.
all preparing for that. Um, but yeah, it would be things like not showering, not looking after like my hair, and just looking after yourself, and
Yeah, yeah,
um,
yeah.
just all the simple things, like all the everyday simple things that you would do,
Mm.
or you presume people would do.
You didn't feel motivated to do back then.
Yeah, I just had no motivation, mate. I
Mm.
just literally, all my mindset was back then was just sit in a dark room, because it was literally what I used to do. Just constantly just watch back-to-back films, because that was my escapism.
Yeah, I
And
absolutely.
then,
Yeah.
yeah, you forget all about the self-care then,
It's almost
because
like you're in a movie, isn't it? So you're in the movie and you're living another life to escape, obviously, what you're suffering with at the time. I've done
yeah,
the same thing for years, mate. You know, people mention a Netflix program on film or something. I'm thinking, yeah, I've seen that. But the thing is, you can learn a lot from films and stuff, and you've had your time of, you know, feeling that you needed to escape, and now you're living in your own movie, I guess. I
yeah,
love. There's so many quotes from your video that I really loved. Another one being, you know, you can have your goals, you can be driven, you can be obsessed with things like you did with fitness. I don't know if you saw my interview on this morning when I was talking about my obsession to fitness.
I watched that. I have watched that. Like, I think that was a really good interview, to be honest.
Thank you, buddy. So again, completely, I can relate to you in so many different ways, and I get you. You can really obsess, but what you've said, again, another one of the many brilliant quotes that you made in your video was, you need to know when to take your foot off the pedal. You know,
Mm.
you can stay driven, but don't over obsess about it and get to the point where you know you're stressing because you need more and you need to keep pushing. Again, another quote you've said is, take a step, you can push yourself, and then you can take a step back, push yourself, take a step back. And that relaxed, comfortable approach is so important. I feel that there's been many times where I've sat there and thought, you know, it needs to be all or nothing and just giving it my absolute best. And then if I'm not giving it 110%, it's not enough. So then what we do is we beat ourselves up. But of course, it's all self-inflicted to that point. Like you said, your hair's not 100% at the moment, but you know what? You get up, you dress up, you show up, and you
Yeah,
know, however you are at the time, you just give it. You know, I used to be the same. I need to be my absolute best. I cannot leave my house unless I looked my best, and you know, until I can give the best version of myself. But again, as you've emphasized, as you've acknowledged, one of your key features is you're a genuine person. It doesn't matter how you come across. There's no right or wrong way. As long as you're being yourself, then
mm.
that's all that matters.
Yeah,
And it's these points that we need to be focused on ourselves rather than judging ourselves. We need to focus on what sets us apart, and you know what's good about us. So it's so admirable, bud, just seeing how far you've come from what you're saying, you know, where you were at 5 years ago. You mentioned if anyone wants to reach out to you, that you know, that they can send you a message. Your door's always open to other people. That is, of course, because you felt a certain way before. You want to
yeah.
help others because you know how it feels to be on your own in that dark room. So if you could just give us 3 tips, just for now, while we're in this video, of anything you can think of to help others, what would them 3 tips be? 1, 2, or 3 tips, whatever you can give me here.
Yeah, no, of course, mate. I have, excuse me, I have my own like daily tips, things that I feel that I need to do for me. and it does make like every day successful to a degree. So the first one is keep active. And one thing that I would say is, if you have a hobby, or even if you don't have a hobby, find an interest, find something that you genuinely think, okay, yeah, I'm good at this, or I can be good at this, then literally get up, do it. And it does help with your mental health. It genuinely, like, it puts your mental health at a state where it's just okay, like it's sustainable. Like, for example, I'll take myself to the gym, and that's my thing now. Like, it never used to be my thing, but it is my thing, and I pride myself on that. So keeping active would be the first one.
Good tip. Good tip.
Thank you. The second one, it does align with being active, but learn something new. So use your like creative sparks in your mind to learn something new. So whether it's learning a new course, learning like a new language, just learning something like about yourself, learning what your capabilities are as a person, and just seeing how far you can go with something. So for example, if you've never been to the gym, why not sign up, give it a go? It's going to benefit you physically, mentally. It's a win-win situation. So if you learn something new, I genuinely feel that it's going to enhance you as a person, because you're going to learn something new. That's a added skill to your skill set.
And again, you've got direction, you've got stimulus. Another top tip, 2 top tips there.
And the third one, so I would say rest. You can take this a few different ways, I feel. Things such as like active rest. So you can get up and go out for a walk, and that will actively help with your mental health, because you're going outside, you're getting some fresh air. It doesn't have to be something exhausting, but yeah, like go out, just enjoy the sun, just go out for a walk. Do something mindful, like something that's just gonna like relax the mind, whether it is like listening to a podcast, because I don't think we actually realize how much our minds need rest. Like physically, we need rest. So like you can sit down, watch a film, you can, you know, we all know how to unwind, but I don't think we know how to mentally unwind. And it could be something like just having a chat. Like it can rest the mind, like as we're doing now. Like we're having a good chat, and after this, both of us will probably benefit from it. Like we might not realize until later or the day after, but our minds might be a bit more at ease just by having this chat. Mentally, you've got to find something that can just, it recharges the brain, because
we seem to always have time to be busy, but we don't really have much time to relax, breathe, and actually do nothing, or more importantly, actively rest. So we've got exercise, learn something new, and actively rest, or just find time to rest. Because sometimes when we're thinking about what we should be doing and we need to be busy, we need to be doing, we're not resting, are we? If anything, we're still thinking about what we should be doing. A few hours will go by and we're thinking, I don't really feel like I've achieved much, when we can use valuable time to rest, like you say. There are 3 powerful tips. Am I glad I've asked you that question? Honestly, you're really equipped to help other people because of your own experiences and your knowledge and the way you deliver it. You've said that you'd love to get to the point where you're helping other people professionally. Obviously, we're doing a video here, which I truly believe you're going to be helping a lot more people than you think, but you've experienced it. You've gone through it. You've gone through the challenges. So you're the right person to obviously help people. So you're absolutely right in the direction, the path that you're wanting to take to help others. Hobbies then, you mentioned 3 hobbies you've got now and 3 achievements that you've got, that you feel that you've done that you're really happy about.
When I think about hobbies, like exercise is the main one. I don't particularly have any others really.
So for myself, when I get a bit of time to wind down and chill, I like to do a bit of gaming. you know, I walk the dog. I do now like to socialize. Like you said, fitness, so that'll be one of mine. So literally anything that you feel like you're motivated to do in general. So there's no right or wrong answer there. But other than fitness, would you say there's anything else like your go-to, what you enjoy?
Well, yeah, like I'd say socialising, to be fair. Like, I meet up with some friends and we'll do something as simple as going to watch a film and going to get a bite to eat, and going to get a coffee.
Nice.
Um, and like, I don't know if they're like proper hobbies,
Yeah,
um,
absolutely. Yeah.
like they do help like massively. Even when I go and have a coffee with like, yeah, like friends of mine, mentally, like it's good. It just, yeah, I don't know, it just helps.
Yeah, socializing is definitely worth calling a hobby, especially with how many people seclude themselves from it. How about achievements? 3 achievements. Fitness has got to be one of them. Surely you've come a long way, but I've seen how well you've come and how you've been developing throughout the years.
um, yeah, the first one is definitely fitness and what I've done on like a physical level, where I remember being like 15 years old and I was about 18 stone, and I got to a point where I just wasn't happy with myself. And yeah, I just felt like that I had to make a change. So like in this time, I've lost a bunch of weight. Like I've I've gone to the gym. I remember you was one of the personal trainers that just took me around the gym for the first time, and then just to go on this journey that I've been on is, yeah, phenomenal. Like I do have to pinch myself a few times because I don't like to come across egotistical, but when you put in so much work and effort, um, to the degree that I feel that I have, it is phenomenal.
Yeah.
Like the thing, like, yeah, it's mad.
Honestly, I want you to hear this from me as one of every viewer. I think you definitely don't come across as egotistic. Tell you've got no ego. And in your last video, you said, I feel really good. I'm actually feeling really good right now. I'm in a good headspace. But I don't mean to say it to brag, but what I was sitting there thinking was it comes across that you're saying to yourself, I'm really pleased with how far I've come. And you can tell from start to finish of your video, you're there to help others. Even the way you closed it at the end, like my door's always open for you. So I'd just like to highlight that point that you don't come across like you've got an ego and to brag. The complete opposite, which is obviously, again, another reason why I'm doing this interview with you. What a
I
brilliant.
appreciate that.
Sure you do. It's nice to hear the good things about ourselves because sometimes we don't think of anything other than the things we're doing wrong.
Yeah,
So when someone
yeah,
can,
no, definitely.
there's not many people out there in the world that would actually tell us, you know, our good attributes. Normally it's whether it's people trying to help us, you know, just by giving us constructive criticism, or whether it's jealousy, or whether it's just people thinking they're better than us. Typically that's what my experience, what a lot of people tend to be like. So it is nice when people tell us what our qualities are.
Yeah, definitely,
But most
definitely.
importantly, what we tell ourselves what our qualities are. The relationship we've got with ourselves is the same relationship we've got with everybody else around us. Which leads me to the next question. Another quote you put in your video was, the real you only really comes out around the right people.
Mm.
Again, I can relate with that, but I just want to, if you could elaborate a little bit more on that, by what sort of person comes out when you're around the right people. So the best version of you comes out with the right people. What is that best version that does come out? Are you able to explain that? It's a tough one.
I will explain it the best that I can.
Okay.
So what I will say, and I think this is something that I've implemented into my life, which is not a good thing. I've always had a guard up. It's with everyone that I meet, and I could not explain why. But the real me, or the best version of me that comes out around people, probably the way that I come across, because I really enjoy deep chats, because I feel that I wear my heart on my sleeve. My heart's out there, and I feel that I give everyone like time, and I just I just care for a lot of people. When that's out there, it can get damaged quite a bit. Like people can take it and they can what's the word?
Take your kindness as
Yeah.
a weakness.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, definitely. So yeah, because of like experiences in the past, I would say that's probably why I've kept myself quite guarded, but I do really like to just open up. I can be like silly around people. The real version of me comes out when the anxiety is not there, when the pressure's not there. I put stupid pressure on myself to try and interact with people in a
Yeah.
certain way, and I don't know why. You know what? It's such a tough question.
It is, but well answered. When I'm asking you questions, I'm thinking, especially when you're like, I'll try and explain it the best way I can. And you literally give such a brilliant answer, a well-explained answer. You know, you've really got a lot to add. So spot on there. You've mentioned you've come a long way, but again, in your video, I quote, there's still a long way to go. Again, one, because you're not the type to brag and you acknowledge that we're always going to be improving, all of us. I think there's a long way to go for all of us. I think 50, 60 years of age, we can still grow. We can still better ourselves. Again, I can completely relate. Why do we sit there and think of our anxieties and why, you know, how we can fit in and all that sort of stuff? It does seem silly, but in reality, we're only human. And a lot of us do that to a mild or to a major degree.
Yeah.
What I've tend to learn over the last few years, and you will definitely feel the same, is you've got good intentions, yeah? Your intentions are good to others. You mean good by others. So if we've got that to mind, it doesn't matter who we're around. We know we've got good intentions. If someone doesn't like us, then we then know that it genuinely is their problem. And it stays their problem because we've got a good relationship with ourselves. We know we're a good person. We know we've got a lot to add to that person that's taken our kindness as a weakness. We know that they can learn by us and they can actually learn from our good traits and the good that we've got to give to others. They're missing out on what it actually feels like to be a good person. And I too, I'm not so much anymore, but I still have a bit of a guard up around certain people. But what I do now is, I'd say instead of the guard, when I'm around others and I'm thinking these aren't the type of person I want to hang around with, I then think of my library. And you'll get what I mean once I explain this. Now, your library can be anything. It's things that you listen to, it's movies that you watch, it's what you do in your career, it's the people you associate with. Whatever we're around is basically us creating our identity. The decisions that we're making as part of our library is who we're becoming. It's who we are. It's who we're becoming. And the decisions we made in the past is what's molded us to where we are now. Maybe instead of feeling like you have to put your guard up, it's being like, on me, I'm going to be me. Whilst you're in front of me right now, I'm going to continue to be me, but am I going to go out my way to see you again? No, because you're not healthy for me. But you don't tell them that. You know, we make people feel good because they're going to have their own troubles. They're not educated enough to know that they're just encouraging more bad things. So the best version of you comes out when you've not got that anxiety, you're around the right sort of people, and you feel comfortable with others. Again, we can always grow in one shape or form, so keep continuing to grow there. So we haven't discussed this point yet. What have you done to actually help yourself with your self-help journey, with your self-development journey?
If I look back on my own like mental health journey as such, I don't think I've realised until only a few months ago, I've had counselling, and I never thought counselling would have an impact on my life. I went, I'd done it, I felt better, but I never truly thought this is gonna have a big impact on my life. And I would say like the self-growth journey, self-improvement, this is what my counsellor told me at the time, because I was able to get the tools to help myself through everyday situations. Consistently using them has got me to a point where I've been able to open up a bit more. I've been able to just improve as a person, really. I've been able to become more open-minded, as well as improving myself along the way. I've been trying to help other people.
Nice.
And even if it's just little bits of information, because I've been on a self-improvement journey, I feel like we all need to go on that journey. With some people, and this is not a negative, some people just need a little bit of push and a little bit of advice, and just a little whisper in the ear, just to be like, okay, this is maybe like the right thing to do. And then they seem to just go off on their own journey and improve themselves.
They should have that in schools, and I've been saying that for years, but now they've actually implemented that in schools. What you're saying is absolutely true, but at a much better degree, they're actually doing it as something you're going to be studying when you go to school now, which is that whisper in the ear you're speaking of. So yeah, again, good answer. What you've done to help with your self-development is you obviously went out of your way to do the counselling. You didn't see doing it at first, but then you did eventually. You're more open, and as proven in your last video and meeting me here today, open-minded, looking at yourself from a different perspective, which you said in your last video. Again, just being open-minded. Why are they acting like that? What makes them like that? Am I going to take it personally, what they've just said? Of course I'm not. I know my intentions. I know who I am. But at the same time, do you know what I actually feel for them now? Because if they're like that with everybody, they're going to end up with nobody.
Yeah.
People don't want to be around that. So again, open-mindedness is a good one. And helping others. What would we say if we're on our deathbed? I wish I'd helped more people in the world. We've got the power to do that now. And you are doing that now. So I just want to recommend a few things, because I like to write articles. I like to do a lot of reading. And like you said, if we can just take something away from this, it's going to help us to some degree. It'll help me enormously. It'll help me with my clients, and it'll help our viewers too. So I do write articles, like I say. I'll send you a link so you can have a look at some of the articles I've got, at which point you seem so well developed, it's probably going to be stuff that you already know. I'm also happy to send you a plan to help you with your non-obsessed approach to continuing with your training. Also, of course, happy to help to support you whilst obviously you're going for your fitness and your self-development journey as well. As well as that, are you much of a reader?
Yeah, no, I am, to be fair.
Same. I listen to a lot of audiobooks as well. I like to multitask. So when I'm doing my active rest, I like to listen to audiobooks, etc. I'll just recommend a few books to you now, and I'll send you a link across to them. And this is in relevance to your last video from what I've watched. You might have read some already. So again, these are like self-development books. So we've got The Secret by Rhonda Byrne.
Yeah, I've got that book.
Brilliant. There we go. And again, not everyone's going to be a fan of this whole law of attraction, but it works for me, and I like to share it with others should they wish to take it. But you're already on board. How to Win Friends and Influence People. Now, like yourself, I'm keeping my circles small, and I feel that I also, only give my time to certain people. But again, it just helps us to be able to deal with more different varieties of people. Think Like a Monk is also another good one. You don't have to become a monk to live in the life of a monk. But it's a guy who used to be a monk. He's no longer a monk now, but he lives by the same sort of values. But I'll send you a link to them, because it's good that you're a reader, because I feel like you're going to expand even more. That'll help you with your self-development. If you've got any books to mind as well, I'll be really interested to hear. The more I'm learning, the better. I don't feel that a single second that we spend on self-development is a time not worth spending.
I definitely agree.
Do stuff for me attitude. Just reading one of the other quotes that you meant. 5 years ago, obviously, you found life a lot harder, but now you've got to do stuff for me attitude.
You've got to put yourself first, I believe. If you don't do anything for yourself, then how are you improving as a person? There's nothing wrong with being stuck in the same job for, I don't know, 5, 10, 15, 20 years. If you're not doing anything to learn, if you're not doing anything to develop as a person, then you're not looking after yourself. I can understand the aspect of being somewhere, being stable and having that stable lifestyle, because we're all different. We all want certain things out of life. And if you want to be stable, hats off to you. You know what you want in life. But I feel like there's other people, especially like myself and you, we're so driven, and we feel like that we want to keep improving and we need to keep improving. So if you don't do stuff for yourself, then who's going to do it? Yeah. You're not going to want the bum for me, are you?
It's the key, mate. That is the key. Do you know how good it is to hear that? The amount of people that feel like the world owes them something. And it's like, who's going to take that step for me? Who's going to give me my dream job? Who's going to win the lottery for me? Who's going to pay my rent for me? Some people are incapable. I get that. But, if we're able to, we need to have that drive. We need to do things for ourselves. And that's all I'm hearing from you. And that is the main reason I did this interview with you. Because when I was listening to your video, I saw someone that was really trying their best. that actually is making action, is taking time out, and is there for other people too. So you said you're proud of how far you've come. And like you said to your viewers, you can get there too. And by what you just said there, by, you know, actually doing things for yourself, that's how they do it. They need to be willing to act for themselves. It's good to get help and advice and, you know, seek help from professionals if needed. But without that drive, without them goals, without that vision, without that direction, we're not helping ourselves. So I like that. Is there anything else that you want to share to any of the viewers whilst we're here together? You've already given so much helpful information, but just sort of ask that as an open question.
Just trying to think, to be fair.
Well, you've so much, that's why. But what can we say to people that these viewers that are going to help them when they're trapped and they're feeling like there's no way out and they're feeling low every day and they just need that little motive to get out of their box and become more confident and happy and fit in with the world? What can we say to them? Wake up!
Yeah, oh mate, we wish that we could just shake them all and be like, this is what you need to do, and then it just goes straight in. If you're someone and you don't know what to do right now, I would consider starting a routine. Like I was talking about the daily tips earlier, go do some exercise, find a new hobby, learn something new, talk to someone, like actively rest your mind. Like that's a daily routine that I have every single day. I would start a routine, whether it is just going out for a walk or getting up a bit earlier. Get up 5-10 minutes earlier so you can just have that bit of you time. It will make you feel so much better.
You're right. So let me give an example to that. You've got person A that wakes up and they don't know what their day's got ahead of them. And they're sort of scratching their head and they make breakfast and they wander into the living room and they're sitting, watch a bit of TV and they look at their social media. Then they walk through here again. They're like, oh, what am I going to be doing with my day? Like, oh, I hate my life. It's so boring. Like, I'm really struggling. And then you've got person B that has the routine you're speaking of, that they know what they're going to be doing. They're going to go for their walk at 8:30 or 10:30 in the morning. And then they're going to have their lunch at 12. And this is the lunch that they're going to have. And then they're going to meet friends at 5:30 when everyone's finished work. And you've actually got a direction. So there's an example as to what you're saying is absolutely true. One of many examples. It's very good to have routine. What a brilliant thing to share. Nice one.
Yeah, thank you, mate.
Good stuff. I'm so glad that I reached out to you, and I'm so grateful that you've accepted and you've come on here and you've really shared so much useful information about your past experience and tips that you've got. Like, it really is, you're on a good journey here, buddy. Not just for yourself, but for other people. You really are. You're a gift to the world, bud. That's how you want to look at yourself. You're a gift to the world. Every single time you feel any sort of self-doubt, I just hope that you remember me saying that and you strongly feel that, because you're such a genuine guy. I've just made some notes here, just things that you are also saying to yourself, and it's not egotistic. It's just self-acknowledgement, self-love. But like you say, you give people your time. You are genuine. You are caring. And when you let your hair down, you do feel like you're silly and you just like to have a laugh. You're free spirit. So when we're struggling and we're thinking of, what's going wrong, most of the time with mental health, we're thinking of what's wrong with us, or, what we should be doing differently, or we're judging ourselves. But if we can have some sort of mood shifter that brings us to the positives, such as let's focus on us as a whole, our good attributes and our good intentions, a lot of the time that massively helps to override anything bad going on, doesn't it?
Yeah, definitely.
I'm very lucky, right? Because I'm an online fitness coach, I work with clients on a day-to-day. Days where I wake up and I actually feel a little bit sluggish and a little bit low-mooded, and I've not really got much planned for the day, straight away I'm speaking to my clients in the morning. And because I passionately love what I'm doing and I need to be helping my clients as well, it is an obligation to, I'm positive to them and I'm telling them, like, I'm helping them with their troubles and I'm pushing them and motivating them through the day. So what does that do for me? Because I'm actually putting them words across to someone, I'm actually bringing it to the front of my mind because I have to, it motivates me. it makes me feel good. So I'm very lucky because I do it for work. But if we can all manage to do that and voluntarily bring, this positivity in front of us by thinking things like gratitude and visualizing good things, and when we're feeling negative, focus on positives instead. Here's an example just to finish on. Even habits, you mentioned routine, and routine's very important, but so are day-to-day habits. Say, for example, we're driving along and someone's just cut us up and we're shouting and cursing out the window. If we do that one time, next time someone cuts us up, like, it's now like habitual, like we're programmed ourselves to be like, right, I shout and curse. It's what I've done for the last 2 years or the last 2 weeks or whatever. So if we can change that, someone's cut us up, let's just accept they probably realize they've made the mistake. Can we change the world? No. Is it going to affect my day? No. I'm not going to shout and curse. I'm going to use that as an opportunity for self-growth and to stay calm and enjoy the rest of my day. That happens in every shape and form in our lives. And if we can create healthy habits, again, all this stuff is mostly what I've read from these books, then that's going to tie in really well with your routine that you're speaking of as well. So, but yeah, I'm loving this, bud. This is what life's all about. It's self-development and it's improvement and it's growing forwards. And that's exactly what you're doing on a day-to-day.
Yeah, thank you, mate.
Good, man. Anything else you want to add?
I think that's it, to be fair.
Covered a lot. That is a good interview, that is. But yeah, thank you very much for your time. And like I say, I'm going to continue. I'm going to keep supporting you. I know I'm going to get that same support back. And
of course, mate.
Keep being you. I'm looking forward to seeing your next videos as well on your YouTube channel.
Yeah, thank you, mate.
Yeah, keep them coming. You got any idea of what you're going to be doing next? Any sort of videos you got in mind?
Not 100% sure at the moment. When I started this up, I just thought, right, one of the main reasons that I want to do it is just for like a bit of a confidence boost, because my confidence is up here and then it's down there, and I'm like, I just want to keep it at a good playing field.
Yeah.
And I just thought, right, just get in front of the camera, just see what happens. Yeah, I do know, like, I will be planning some videos. There will be more mental health videos, but I want to like explore a lot. Mainly it's going to be things that I'm interested in, but it's just seeing how the movement goes.
Yeah.
And if I can have people like yourself, like, to come and do a video, then that's a massive bonus.
Yeah. You said in your intro video and one of your other videos that I saw, if you feel like picking the camera up one day and just having a chat and seeing how it goes, then you're going to do that. And I realize your main motive behind it now is again, one factor being that confidence lift, just improving on your confidence, which is brilliant. That's brilliant. People really shy themselves away from what they're anxious about. And normally what we're afraid of the most is what makes us the most. Isn't it? So yeah, good on you. What you got planned for the rest of the day then, bud?
I will be hitting the gym.
Nice.
Probably get some food down me, and then I'll probably be doing a bit of mindfulness later.
Nice. What do you do for mindfulness? Loving everything you're saying.
So like, it can be something like just watching a podcast or listening a podcast. It can be just go out for a walk around the block.
Yeah.
Sometimes I just feel like if I just need to be on my own in a room, then I'll just be on my own. I'll have everything switched off, so like my phone, all those types of gadgets.
Nice.
And I'll just have a bit of time just to like sit there or lay on my bed and just
mindfulness.
Yeah, just be in the moment, mate. Because that's where like this is getting the rest that it needs.
Yeah, the active rest you were speaking about.
Yeah.
Brilliant. Honestly, you've shared so much quality material.
Yeah, thank you, mate. I appreciate that.
No worries. Well, you enjoy the rest of your day. I'll speak to you soon, buddy, and you keep on growing, my man. I'm here for you when you need me, all right?
I appreciate that, mate. Thank you.
Take care. Have a good evening. God bless, mate.
You too, man.